aimed at integrating Nigerian-born talent from the diaspora into the country's sport development framework. And speaking on the Commission's vision, the DG of the National Sports Commission, Oluyole, quoting him, said, "What we are doing at the National Sports Commission is not accidental. It is deliberate, well-structured pathway to sporting excellence from discovering talent at the grassroots programs through the invited junior athlete program to open doors for our diaspora talent, and our goal is clear to ensure that no talent is lost and that every athlete has a defined pathway to reach elite performance and represent Nigeria with pride on the global stage." The words of Oluyole as the NSE has now rolled out the invited diaspora athlete initiative, and consequent to this, approximately 200 Nigerian diaspora athletes are now expected to gather in the United Kingdom later in the month of May for an open trial, and outstanding participants will have an opportunity to compete in the newly introduced Nigeria Intermediate Games, which is also another key project of the NSE. Well, the Intermediate Games, for those who do not know, are specifically designed to who will be selected to join the pool of existing athletes. Well, from there, let us move straight to Sporting Federation, domiciled within the National Sports Commission, and that's the NRFF, that's the Nigeria Rugby Football Federation, because right now that federation has kicked off its 3-day coaching and medical course in the gateway state of Ogun as part of efforts to strengthen grassroots development within the sport. The event, which kicked off yesterday, will run till Saturday with sessions taking place within the Moshood Kashima Oluyole Sports Arena in Abeokuta in the Kuto area of the state. And this initiative is led by the Federation's Chief Operating Officer Tunde Delu, who told pressmen yesterday that the program reflects a broader commitment in bringing and building rugby through structured grassroots development. Quoting him, he said, "We have continued and we are continued to building rugby from the grassroots by equipping our coaches and medical personnel with the right knowledge and standards." He added that the objective goes beyond immediate training, stressing that the Federation is focused on creating a long-term system that aligns with global standards. Well, the NRFF had earlier announced on April 5th that the course would focus on key areas such as player safety, coaching techniques, and athlete management, while also preparing participants for level 1 certification pathways. So there's a whole lot to also look ahead to in the sport of rugby right here in Nigeria. From rugby we switch gears, we now move straight to the round letter game of football, where the Nigeria Football Federation, that's the NFF, has now made an approach to William Osula. Well, for those who follow the English Premier League with keen interest, you would have seen Osula file out for the Magpies, that is Newcastle United, in the English Premier League. And if you also follow Osula on social media, he's born to a Danish mother and a French-Nigerian father, but of course he strongly aligns with his Nigerian root, and the 22-year-old who has represented Denmark at youth level is eligible to file out for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And of course, according to a report from Fazam Abdul Hussaini, who is a football journalist, he reported that the NFF has already made an initial contact with the forward, and it remains to be seen if Osula will be willing to represent Nigeria at senior level. Of course, we'll be monitoring and keeping close tabs with that report. Well, still with football story, but now let us move straight to the second tier of club football in Nigeria. Club football in Nigeria, that's the Nigeria National League, where the chairman of the NNL and member of the NFF Executive Committee, Chief Judge Oluyole yesterday, Thursday, reflected with joy on many positive changes that has happened in the second tier of domestic football in Nigeria, that's the NNL. Quoting himself, "This is not about beating one's trumpet, but I am happy that we are making enormous progress. Let me start from the draw ceremony that is taking place on Friday. This is the first time we are having an elaborate ceremony for the draw of our season-ending tournament. It has never happened even while it was the Super 8. I want to thank our sponsors for the support that they have given us, and I am assuring that the NNL will continue to give them positive and far-reaching mileage." Oluyole was also proud of the stark prospect of private owned clubs dominating the top tier of Nigeria's domestic football in the coming year, as all of the promoted sides from the NNL this year are privately owned. Remember, Doma United, Sporting Lagos, Ranches Bees and Inter Lagos are the four sides who have now picked up tickets ahead of next season in the Nigeria Premier Football League. But right now, a Super 4 tournament which will determine the overall champions of the NNL will be taking place in Ikenne Remo Star Stadium from May 1st to 8th, with the draws expected to take place later today, Friday. And expected at the venue of the draws is the DG of the National Sports Commission, Honorable Bukola Olopade, the President of the NFF, Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Guzo MON, and a whole lot of other invited guests. Of course, we will also be giving you details as soon as the draws are made in Ogun State later today. Well, approaching 15 minutes to the hour of 8, we'll switch gears and we'll move straight to the continent of Africa, where CAF had a strategic meeting ahead of AFCON 2027 yesterday, Thursday. Because right now, sport ministers are from the Republic of Kenya, Tanzania and the Republic of Uganda, with the presidents of member associations from these three nations and the chairpersons of the local organizing committees held a high level CAF African Cup of Nations kick-off meeting in Kampala, the capital of Uganda, to reaffirm their shared commitment to the successful hosting and delivery of the CAF African Cup of Nations. Remember on this program yesterday, I told you of a report that emerged that South Africa is waiting in line to pick up the hosting of AFCON 2027 should these three nations fail to be ready to host the AFCON later next year. And the CAF Acting General Secretary, that is Samson Adamu, commended the three host nations on the progress made so far and reaffirms a CAF full commitment to the successful hosting of the Pamoja 2027 AFCON, as he emphasized the importance of coordinating in planning, timely execution and disciplined delivery, and a unified regional approach towards hosting a successful continental tournament. The three host nations expressed their appreciation to CAF President Dr. Patrice Motsepe and the CAF team for its support, guidance and technical support, and confidence in the Pamoja partnership, and reaffirm their commitment to working closely with CAF in delivering a successful and memorable CAF African Cup of Nations, which Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda hope to have the gauntlet on them later next year. Check the time right now. This is 13 minutes to 8. We'll be having a shorter pause on the program as we'll be going to the commercial segment. When we return, we're giving you more stories from Sportit Bit. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Oh yes, still on your number one radio station, Oluyole FM 98.5. This is to inform all persons affected by the first segment compensation for the Ibadan Circular Road project that implementation has commenced. All affected claimants are required to report to the Governor's Office, room 67 at the Secretariat Complex, Agodi, Ibadan. Claimants are also advised to visit the Oyo State Ministry of Lands and Urban Development area to confirm their names and obtain details of the required documents to bring a loan. Date Friday being today, 24th April 2026. Time 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Please ensure you attend promptly and come with all necessary documents. This announcement is signed by retired CP Odukoya Sunday, Executive Assistant to the Governors on Security Matters. Thank you.
Welcome back from the commercial break. You're still on to Sportit Bit right here from live studios of Oluyole 98.5 FM, and I'm your host Toby Ajiwole. Right here serving you those stories. Well, now let us come back to your state as we give you update from the Oyo State Federation Cup, because right now it will be the Shooting Star Sport Club of Ibadan and Crown Football Club of Ogbomoso who will be going head to head, toe-to-toe in the finals of the 2026 Oyo State Federation Cup, with a decisive encounter scheduled for Sunday, April 26th at the Lekon Salami Sports Complex. Well, Shooting Stars booked their place in the final after a narrow 1-0 victory over the Shooting Stars B team yesterday at the Oluyole Stadium pitch at the Yagoku area of Ibadan, as a Crown Football Club meanwhile secured their spot with a commanding 2-0 victory over Ibadan United. And this final is expected to headline a day of football activities beginning with the women's final by 1 p.m. between the Paysera Queens Football Club and Dragon Fury Ladies FC, with the men's final followed or set to take place by 3 p.m. With fans and stakeholders expected to throng the iconic Lekon Salami Sports Complex. And beyond the battle for the cups on the day, both finalists will be competing for opportunity to represent Oyo State at the prestigious President Federation Cup. So there's a whole lot to play for in that cup final. Well, from there, let us switch gears to other venues regarding the State Federation Cup. Let us move straight to Ogun State because Ikele-based team Beyond Limit also booked their place in the national round after an impressive campaign that included a shock victory over their parent club, Remo Stars Football Club. Well, for Beyond Limit, they secure qualifications with a 4-2 penalty shootout win after a 1-1 draw with that parent club, that is Remo Stars, and they won 4-2 in penalties. Meanwhile, in other venues, Nationwide League 1 side, NLO side, Awudiyanem FC continued their giant killing run as they eliminated MPFL side Abia Warriors 4-3 on penalties after a goalless draw at the Eyimba International Stadium in Aba. Well, in another fixture, Gakombi Football Club defeated ABS, that's the Abubakar Bukola Saraki FC of Ilorin 4-3 on penalties at the Kwara Football Association Cup, the Kwara FA Cup, after a 1-1 draw in regulation time. For Kano Pillars, they'll be facing NNL side Bichi First FC in the semi-final of the Kano State Federation Cup later today at the Sanya Bacha Stadium. Meanwhile, in Abuja, that's the FCT Sporting Supreme Feeders will be locking arms with Sporting Supreme, the senior team, in the final tomorrow, Saturday, April 25th, as a former MPFL side will be Ruby Stars. Ruby squaring up with NNL side Flight FC of Boko in Benue State in the Federation Cup final arrival. So there's a whole lot to play for, as all of these sides will be hoping to qualify for the national finals. From there we move straight to the foreign scene. As we give you an update from the National Basketball Association, as we've been seeing the conference finals in the East and the West, and starting the result of games which was played late last night. We are seeing the Game 2 series of the Pistons versus the Orlando Magic, as the Pistons defeated the Magic by 98 points to 83 points. Well, yesterday the Oklahoma City Thunders defeated the Phoenix Suns 120 points to 107 points. And in the early hours of this morning, Game 3 saw the Atlanta Hawks defeat the New York Knicks by a point, 109 to 108. It ended after full time. Game 3 saw the Toronto Raptors defeat the Cleveland Cavaliers 126 points to 104 points, as the Minnesota Timberwolves defeated the Nuggets 113 to 96 points, and that was in the early hours of today. Well, tomorrow morning it was in the Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Boston Celtics in Game 3. Also later tomorrow by 1 a.m. the Houston Rockets versus the LA Lakers. Also later tomorrow by 3:30 a.m. the Portland Trail Blazers versus the San Antonio Spurs in Game 3 of some of the playoff games of the National Basketball Association. That's the NBA in the United States of America. Now let us also take a look at some other stories from the foreign scene on the program this morning. Well, right now from the camp of Football Club Barcelona, well, Lamine Yamal, 18-year-old superstar, is now expected to miss the remainder of Barcelona's season, but is expected to be fit in time for the FIFA World Cup. Well, remember the 18-year-old picked up an hamstring injury in his left leg during Wednesday's 1-0 win over Celta Vigo, and of course there will be a whole lot of sweating on his fitness from Barcelona and even the Royal Spanish Football Federation. To more stories regarding the FIFA World Cup. Right now, World Football Governing Body FIFA has said it has no plans to replace the Islamic Republic of Iran with Italy at this year's Summer World Cup, according to various sources, after the switch was proposed by US President Donald Trump's special envoy, and there has been an ongoing uncertainty over Iran's participation at the tournament because of the war with the United States and Israel. Well, US Special Envoy Paolo Zampaoli told the Financial Times, saying, "I confirm I have suggested to Trump and Infantino that Italy replace Iran at the World Cup. I'm an Italian native, and it will be a dream to see the Azzurri at a US hosted tournament with 4 titles. They have the pedigree to justify inclusion, but right now FIFA has shut down those claims or those plans by the envoy